Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about the death we're seeing in our friends and family, our beloved pets. Our hearts don't seem to recognize a difference or barriers between our beloved pets and our own family. And it's hard to be with someone for 20 or 30 years of your life and not have deep feelings. Sometimes the pain of grief can leave you overwhelmed by tears, and other times the pain is so deep you have no tears. It's the separation of our hearts, and we feel it deeply. Some people mistakenly think suicide is the way to be free of that pain. But the truth is, that route leads you to more pain, not less. And even those who believe in an afterlife, it doesn't lessen your pain, because the pain is your pain of separation. And your pain is very real, and it has to be dealt with. Over your life, you learn many coping mechanisms, some that you find don't serve you very well. Others you find later in life that serve you better. The coping mechanism I use is to take a deep breath when the pain hits, when you think of them and think of their smile, or a kind word or mannerism they had. And sometimes the pain is just overwhelming. So I take a deep breath and I say out loud, I give this sadness over to heaven. I understand that at this time it does not serve me. So I ask heaven's help in removing that sadness, and do with it as you will. And you can say this in any word you choose. That's just the way I usually say it. But you'll find that saying the words out loud and taking a deep breath, it does help. And if you are the primary caregiver for the person who is sick, that passed away, you're very tired, and that worn out feeling, and then you have to deal with all the funeral arrangements and cleaning things out. It's just a never-ending work. So when you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath and say out loud any words you need to say to heaven. They are listening. We were told there was going to be a great many deaths, a wave, and now we're seeing it. Anyone who still believes the estimates of 7.5 billion people on Earth are really just foolish. The die-off has been going on for a few years, but now you're going to really see it. As more people on live TV are going to be passing away, and the cameras won't be able to hide it. They aren't the only ones leaving, though. There are other reasons to leave besides the bad medicine, and such is the case with our pets, who are aged and also ill, and in many cases they need help. And most of us give them the same round-the-clock care that we gave to our relatives. And all you can do is be there for them, comfort them, and tell them it's going to be okay. And when you hear those people talking about only 15% made it to heaven, understand that's the West. We were told they didn't get as many people as they wanted, and I actually think they got less than 15. I think it's more like 10 to 12%. And before you ask how it could be this way, you've already been told it's a war. Those who oppose heaven want to keep you. So they're using a number of methods to retrieve people besides the death law. We've talked before about heaven not thinking the way a human being thinks. And this is just another case of it. I thought it might help for you to hear it from a different perspective. Imagine you live in a small town and everyone knows everyone. The mayor lives across the street from you. Your aunts and your uncles live in the same town. You have cousins you grew up with. Your best friends went to grade school and high school with you. So one day you and your friends decide to go to the city to one of the new arcade games, and a couple of your cousins decide they'll go too. Now this new game has a set limit of 2 hours, so you tell your parents and your family you'll be back in a couple of hours. They wave you off. It's a normal day, kids off playing. You get into the city and into the arcade game, and this is a virtual reality. Have a lifetime in the span of 2 hours. So you spend some time picking out the criteria of your avatar and what you're going to do and your lifespan, and everyone jumps into the VR. 2 hours later, the assistant comes over to help get you out and give you the wake-up call, and finds they can't get you out. Something has gone wrong in the system. And then they find out no one can get out. Well, of course, this becomes a national crisis. And while the nation is moving to repair all these things and find out what happened, your mind, is still stranded inside the VR. So they keep you in a coma, all the while working on the problem. Days stretch into weeks, weeks stretch into months, months stretch into years. And one day, they find they fixed the problem, and people start waking up. And one of them is you. Well, this is a big thing. Your parents are overjoyed. Your brothers and sisters come and rush to meet you. They tell the aunts and uncles. The aunts and uncles tell the cousins. Everyone tells the mayor. By the time you get home, you are completely surrounded by people who love you and pat you on the back and say how much they missed you. And for them, it's a miracle that you returned home. And you are an amazing hero, a survivor of an event no one could have foreseen. And now you're there, waiting on the cousin or friend that hasn't made it out yet, but knowing full well they will make it out. And that is how it is for the people and our pets who leave us right now in death. Because for those in heaven, it is life, and they are overjoyed. It is a deeply emotional moment. They've told us any number of times, and for a number of years, that everyone is leaving. They are closing the creation. For some, it will be a shift. For others, it will be a rapture. And others still, it will be death here and life elsewhere. And we will see them again very soon, because a lifetime here is only a few hours there. And they are overjoyed to have you home. I hope this helps put things into perspective for you and ease the burden of your sorrow and your worry for those who have left a few moments before you. May you have a beautiful day and your heart be lightened by heaven.